what's the purpose of life if all there is at the end is death? What's the purpose of us doing what we do? What's
Why does there have to be a purpose?
You're saying you're okay with no purpose in your life whatsoever?
Oh, I have purpose in my life. But I don't think, you're saying as a species, what's the point if there's no heaven afterwards?
Sure.
Or hell, to scare you into heaven.
Right.
Right. So I'm telling you that it's okay to be an atheist. You can still be a good person and moral, even though it's not necessarily Christian morality. I mean, because I think you know me pretty well. Would you say that I'm a bad, deviant person?
No.
In fact, I'd like you to admit that I'm probably better morality-wise than most Christians out there.
Probably.
Oh,
and that's
yes,
funny because that's one of my questions.
Is it? Okay, cool.
Yeah, it's true.
So I think I don't think that you need a religion to live a decent, purposeful life, but I don't need to have that, apple dangling at the end for me to lead me through my life to some sort of objective. I'm okay just dying and being done.
Okay, you say that you got good morals and everything. Well, who's to say what's right and wrong? Who is to say what is right and wrong?
Exactly. For me, that's my personal decision.
So
I know how I like to be treated, and I know how I like to treat others, and I try to be a good person and a nice person, and that's good enough for me. Someone else might be completely different and have their own perspective on what it is to be good or whatever drives them in life.
But a majority of the world says this is right and this is wrong, and that's just in our human conscious. We know what's right. We know what's wrong.
No, I disagree.
And then there's some stuff in the middle that people disagree on. Is murder wrong?
I think that's up to the individual.
That's up to. So if I went and killed somebody, the only reason it's wrong is because the United States says it's wrong, and I'm going to get put to death. You know what I'm saying?
Well, no, because I think it's a little messy to mix up religion and politics in this, because those are representative of what we decide as a society. Because do you want to walk down the street worrying about getting murdered every single day? No one wants that. It doesn't matter whether you're a Christian or a Buddhist or a Democrat or Republican. We've decided as a society that that's the way we want to live. We want to live with these certain freedoms, and the freedom from being killed on the street is definitely high on most people's lists. So I think that's a societal thing that we've decided that these are our norms, and I think probably the next step from that evolution was the creation of these religions that kind of codified these norms that we've decided that we want to live by. And then on top of that, you got politics that comes and says, okay, we want to be a Christian society, so now we're going to dictate what those norms are.
Yeah, I understand.
Okay.
Yeah, definitely. Well, is it possible that one of the reasons why you decided that there wasn't a God is because your unwillingness to submit to Him? Meaning,
absolutely not.
You wanted complete freedom.
Oh,
you
hell
know what
no!
I'm saying?
It was.
I know you answered this in the beginning, but
yeah, no, I can definitively tell you, and this might be something that you have to take on faith, but I can absolutely tell you that I strived so hard to be the absolute best Christian that I could, and I struggled with it every day, every moment of every day. It's something that I thought of, and I tried to be better and better, and more whatever. And I can tell you that it was only a relief realizing that I was wasting my time, but it was not an excuse to have to get away from dealing with that. But I could never have lived with myself if I was saying, okay, there's no God just because I really don't want to live by Christian values. No, it's just ridiculous to me.
Well, is it, did you have any bad experiences when you were in church with other Christians? Is it possible that that was also a motive to not believe in God?
No.
You didn't have any bad experiences at all?
Well, I can definitely tell you, I know where you're going with this, but I can definitely tell you that growing up in a Christian school, from kindergarten on, that I witnessed what these people called themselves Christians, and that's not something that would make me say, oh, I don't want to be a Christian if that's what it means to be a Christian or whatever, or they're not good Christians. I mean, I definitely judged, and I said, those people are not being good Christians. But that had no factor in my decision to not be a Christian. But looking back, I can say, God, those fucking idiots. Seriously.
Yeah,
Yeah, I mean, I think Christians are the worst thing to happen to Christianity because they are the ones who are proving that. Yeah, I should probably stop there, but I can get it. I used to actually hate Christians a lot when I first became a non-Christian. No, I immediately went into being an atheist. It made more sense to me. I never ever had that question like maybe there's something else out there. But I actually hated Christians for years, and it was a hard thing for me to learn how to not hate Christians. Meeting people like you made it a little bit better, but yeah, I remember I was pretty violent about my anti-Christianness.
How many Christians did you kill?
Oh, let me think. I think I was up to about 1,200. No, just
Really?
kidding. Yeah. No, I would never. I'm a pacifist, so I would never hurt anybody. But
there's a lot of
no,
hate.
I just there was definitely a lot of anger towards these people that called themselves Christians, and because I knew, growing up that way and striving so hard to be a Christian, what it means to be a Christian, and so none of them can ever say to me, "Oh, you just don't know," because I knew better than any of them because I worked at it every single day. And I saw how lazy they were or how two-faced they were and what bad people they were. And it disgusted me that they were calling themselves Christians. Of course, now I don't care because I think it's like it's a dinosaur, ready to die. But so I don't care if people want to be Christians or they want to be something else. It's not my issue. I'm not going to worry about it.
Okay. I've had my problems with Christians too, and
Really?
some have really hurt me. But you know what? Not every Christian's like that, and you also got to realize that we're human beings. Sure, most Christians are hypocrites, if not all, with their lifestyle, the way they treat people, etc. I've had many people who said that they were these great Christians, who've turned around and cheated on their spouse,
Yeah.
who've treated me like garbage, and that's my biggest thing is when Christians treat people like crap.
Right.
Yeah, that's my biggest thing, because that's, Jesus was asked, what's the greatest commandment? He said to love your God and love your neighbor as yourself.
Right.
In the same sentence.
But
if you're going to treat me like crap and then call yourself a Christian, that really bugs me. So I understand.
Right.
I've been hurt by Christians.
Right.
A lot. But as you know a lot of Christians that aren't like a lot of the people that you grew up with. So you can't. Can you say that every Christian is a hypocrite?
No, of course I would never do that.
Well, I mean, so your opinion has obviously changed about Christians. So
No, well,
as far as,
no, just like you can't say every atheist is, killing babies or whatever, which, I don't know what people say
you've
about
killed
atheists.
a couple, but go ahead.
Now, not on tape. No, I think it's a bad idea for anybody to lump anything into any kind of group. I think that's just I think stereotypes are just a really bad idea. You're the one who's going to come out looking like an idiot if you stereotype anything. And I would never say that all Christians are bad. And I've met some amazing Christians that I truly value as friends, and I hold them higher than some other friends, perhaps, who are non-Christian. So I would never say, oh, because you're Christian, I can't be a good friend with you or whatever. At the same time, I've got plenty of non-Christian friends that I hold up high also. So, yeah, I've never lumped anybody into a group.
That's cool. Well, moving on, what do you think happens when you die? That's it?
Worm food.
Worm food.
Yeah.
How do you explain people who have actually died and said they've seen the bright light, or there's people who say that they've actually experienced hell after they've died and then come back to life? How do you explain that?
Well, I think for one, are people looking to experience something like that? I mean, you hear enough stories about UFOs and all of a sudden you got a bunch of UFO sightings in, Reno or something. I don't know, but so I think that's one thing that it's kind of been indoctrinated in people that you're going to see this bright light. So I think that could lead to a lot of the stories that are out there. And also, I don't really know as you're dying what happens to your body. That's only something you get to really experience once. And or if you're lucky, you get to come back, I guess, like Jesus or someone on the operating table or whatever. So I can explain away very easily to say, okay, well, what's happening to your brain at that time? What's happening to the impulses going on within your body? Because it's there's a lot of stuff happening within your body all the time, and when that comes to an end and it's not expecting that, and it's not, people don't want to die, so your body is just a machine of us, and what happens to that? I don't really know, because I could just explain away as just impulses or something. And that was a really long bunch of crap for no reason. We'll edit that later. That's succinct it a little bit.
You went back and you said that you're a pretty moral person and everything. And I was going to say, you still...
Maybe not out of choice, but anyway, go ahead.
Right. you display many traits that I would think stem from your upbringing as a Christian.
Back.
So, no, I mean, you used to say that going to strip clubs was degrading to women.
It was, yeah. I felt like that, but I've changed my mind now.
Oh, okay.
Not that I've ever been.
No, now it's okay.
Well, no, because those are the types of things I struggle with, and it had nothing to do with Christianity.
Sure.
How many Christians do you know going to strip clubs, Rod?
Sure. I've never been to one.
Oh, I know. I was talking about you.
Right.
Yeah, right. Anyway, no, it was really about that was what was really liberating about not being a Christian anymore, because I didn't have this doctrine that was leading my life. I could actually stop and say, okay, why do I believe what I believe? And I did that with every element of my life. And strip clubs was one of those things where I was like, okay, I think that this is degrading to women. Then next thing you know, I meet a bunch of strippers, and they're like, no, we're making a bunch of money off of these stupid guys. This is, empowering. And I'm like, okay, actually, so they changed my mind. And so, yeah, if there's stupid guys out there that want to give a bunch of singles away, let them go for it. Let these girls take advantage of them. That's fine, but I'm still not going to go.
It was not tonight.
Not tonight. Well, I don't want to rule it out, but...
All right, well, this is one of my final questions. I mean, what if you're wrong? What if there is a God? What if the Bible is the Word of God and everything, and it's true? What if you're wrong? I mean...
I guess on my deathbed I can recant and, woo, I'm in heaven after all.
Oh, really?
No,
You think?
I have no doubt about it. If I did have any doubt, then I would still be a Christian, but, I have no doubt about it. I don't need something at the end. I'm okay living a good life now, and I think that's what a lot of Christians lose perspective of, is that they're so worried about what happens at the end and make sure they go to church every Sunday, and, it's really about living now, and if you're not a good person now, then it doesn't matter at the end. I think people just need to take hold of their life right now and be the person that they couldn't be. They should live up to their potential. I think that's the biggest sin in the world, is people who don't take advantage of what they have available to them. We're in this great time in life where we have all this technology, like you mentioned, and we know so much about the way the world works and everything, and to not take advantage of that and do something with your life. And I think the greatest thing that someone can do is contribute to society.
And you don't think Christians take advantage of everything that's going on right now? I mean...
Well, I don't know that I can't say that again. I'm not going to stereotype all Christians. Sure. But I'm saying that Christians, typically, from my experience, so I can't say typically, can I? Although it's a stereotype. So from my experience, Christians are very concerned about making sure they read their Bible daily, making sure they go to church, making sure that they're in heaven at the end of their life. Where you kind of lose sight of, are you doing something good for your neighbor? Are you, helping that homeless person that actually deserves it, and not just asking for change because he wants a cigarette or something like that? So, those people I'm not
Christians are all over the world, missionaries all over the world.
Yeah. Oh, don't get me started on missionaries. That's
Are you serious?
I am so serious.
I actually am going to call for a Catholic priest to come here and do an exorcism on this guy.
Unnecessary.
Unbelievable, man.
Unbelievable?
I'm just kidding.
Oh my gosh, I totally want to talk about that, but are we running out of time? How much time we got left?
I don't know how much time we got left. Can you see?
I have no idea.
Okay, we've already been going about 50 minutes.
50?
Yeah.
So you're saying none of this stuff's recording anyway?
No. Well,
all right, we can wrap it up.
Well, what I want to do towards this end is just give me some brief comments on these topics, okay? Just some brief comments.
Brief. You know me.
Okay.
I don't know if this is possible.
So I'm just going to give you one word. You tell me what you think about it, okay?
Oh, okay.
Obama.
What am I supposed to say?
I don't know.
I don't know if I can do this without thinking. You kind of know how.
Well, you
I
don't
am.
have to. It doesn't have to be.
So what am I supposed to say about Obama?
What do you think of Obama? Is
What
he
would
doing a
you
good
say?
job?
You give me an example on this first one.
Okay, what would you say? I think he's doing a great job. I think he's changed.
You
this
think I
country.
would say that?
Yep.
Are you kidding me?
That's true. I guess you wouldn't.
No, I think he's gonna come out as a fairly mediocre president, definitely above George Bush Jr., but he's not gonna make any changes. I think that he was elected into office. I think the political will there was to get him into office because he was at the right person at the right time. Definitely the fact that he was a black man at a time when everybody really hated George Bush was a perfect timing for him. And I think that he would have benefited more from having a longer history in Congress. Because I don't think that he made the connections that he needed to make in order to be an effective president, like Bill Clinton or something like that did. I think that he's being pushed around is kind of the way I look at it. I don't think he's really taken the reins, and I don't know if he has the ability to do that just because he doesn't have the connections that he needs.
Don't we have a black guy from Texas that's going to be running for president now?
I don't know.
You don't know?
Yeah, I don't know if a lot of politics anymore because it's kind of pointless.
Okay.
But
Well-
if I've read about it or something, I'd be happy to answer.
Well, what if he's our next black president, but he has totally different? He has the Republican side. Would you admire him at all, or would you
Race
think?
has no impact for me. I don't care at all about race. I
What-
care about the person and what kind of a job is he going to do. Is he going to
Okay,
make?
I see.
Is he going to make change? If we as a society deem that change needs to be made, then he's going to be a good president.
Gotcha. So what about George Bush?
I assume we're
The
talking junior.
George W. Bush.
Not a lot of good things to say about him.
Okay. Want to end it there?
End it there.
The topic of George Bush.
I think he's going to go down in history as probably one of the worst and least effective presidents ever. I think he was presented with some real tragedies and opportunities that he just completely blew it on. And history will definitely judge him poorly.
Yeah, and okay. 9/11, was it the U.S. involvement, or do you believe it was just terrorists trying to destroy America? There's a lot of conspiracy theorists that said George Bush had a lot to do with 9/11.
Oh, I don't think it's anything like nefarious like that at all. I think that you can't disregard the U.S.'s involvement, overt involvement in foreign politics. And we as a society don't really see a lot of the stuff happening, I think, that our government does, really without our knowledge. But we are actively engaged in most of the countries out there to assert our political agenda and also do what's best for the U.S. And can I blame the U.S. government for trying to do what's best for the U.S. government? I guess I can't, because that's kind of the anthropocentric nature of mankind. But I do think that we would not have been attacked if we hadn't been so strong-willed in other countries. I mean, you can go back through a lot of the different wars and war on communism and all this other kind of junk, and it's like one of those things where I think a little isolationism would probably benefit us a little bit. If we just worried about ourselves a little bit more, that would be a good thing.
Prostitution.
Prostitution. Is it good or bad? I think that's a personal choice. I think guys that take advantage of prostitution are taking advantage of a very risky endeavor.
That must have just shut off. Go ahead.
The one on me?
That one.
Oh, okay,
So
that's
that's
good.
okay.
Okay, so we can continue.
Yeah. So go ahead.
So I think it goes same thing with the strip clubs and stuff. I think that if women out there want to do that, and I say want to do that, then that should be their they should be allowed to do that if they want. And if guys want to take advantage of that, which of course all guys are going to say they want to take advantage of that, then they should be allowed to do that. My serious issue with that is the children prostitution and the pimps and the way that kind of works. And I do feel like the majority of prostitutes out there are not there by choice, but they might be there by where they're at in life and the things that they need to do to get by. And I doubt most prostitutes would want to be in that situation. And for that, I wish that there was something that we could do as a society to to help them out. You know, I'd like to be able to provide other options for them besides that. But I think the guys who take advantage of should be the ones who are targeted for that, because if there wasn't a clientele, then there wouldn't be prostitution.
So why don't you become a pimp and help them out?
Do you think pimps really help out their prostitutes?
Okay. Global warming, true or false?
True.
Okay. Country music,
True. No.
you enjoy it?
I don't hate it like I used to. I've tried to be a lot more open-minded about music lately, and it's not something that I would listen to on my own, but I definitely don't despise it.
Okay. Dogs or cats?
I like both. I like all animals.
Yeah, good.
Don't eat them.
That's right, you're a vegetarian.
Uh-huh.
That's your problem.
Is that it?
Gay marriage.
I'm okay with that.
How about the mosque built in New York City?
No issues.
No issues? What about Rod Brown?
Is that a country singer?
Um,
He's an okay.
used to be a model.
Oh really?
Okay.
I didn't know that.
All right, Brent, I
It wasn't
appreciate
on
it.
TMZ.
Sorry we ran out of time, but
Sorry.
I do appreciate it. I hope I didn't come off as too much of a fool. I hate discussing stuff with you because you're too smart
Oh, shut
for
up.
me. It's true.
It is not.
So I'm gonna go get a professor down here. I'm just kidding. All right, dude. Well, I appreciate it. You want people to contact you if they'd like to chat with you?
Yeah, you can send your hate mail to, just go to bomberwebdevelopment.com.
What is it?
bomberwebdevelopment.com.
Okay, and they can contact you through there.
Yeah, there's a form on there.
Okay, that's a business you do, designing
It is.
websites.
Yep,
With someone else, right?
yep. Designing and developing websites,
That's
custom
awesome.
websites.
That's awesome.
They're beautiful.
Well, let me study up on my history and my beliefs, and we'll do this again.
All right, do I get the questions next time first?
Hell no.
I really need to practice first.
No way. All right, dude. I appreciate it, Brent.
All right, thanks,
Talk to you
Rob.
later. We'll catch you guys next time.
Amazing grace, how sweet the sound that saved a wretch like me. I once was lost, but